Well, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Automotive Insight. Today we've got a 2012 Ford Escape. The customer says that they had tires installed, and ever since then they've had an ABS light. So are those two things related, or are they coincidental? Let's figure it out. So while this thing is doing its thing, I want to go around and make sure that all four tires are the same size. 225, 225, 65, 17. 225, okay, they are. Because that would kind of make sense if they accidentally put a different size tire on. That could definitely cause this. List. ABS, we've got a B1342-20 ECU internal fault. Power steering. Steering shaft sensor malfunction. Accessory. Oh, it's got an aftermarket radio. All right, so the bottom two I'm not concerned about. These two. What we're going to be looking at. So this is in the power steering module. All right, let's can I go from here? I guess not. Where's my ABS at? So let's go to live data. All right. Well, this is jumping out at me here. Pressure of ABS main brake. I mean, we're out of the car, and it's bouncing around. That seems askew to me. From 17 to 65, 529 over and over again. So if we go into our power steering control module, we don't have any live data. Special functions, calibration, steering wheel position. I do recall seeing it in the a data PID for it in the ABS. So let's go back into ABS. Live data. It's towards the bottom. Hey, now it's yelling at me. Angle of steering wheel. I think it said the max was like 550 to negative 550. Okay, well, I am not seeing a problem with that at the moment. So let's look at the repair manual, see what it says to do for these, and we'll come up with a game plan for this. All right, so for our B1342 in the ABS, it seems pretty cut and dry. Clear the DTCs, repeat the test. If B1342 is retrieved, install a new module. Well, that seems simple enough. So let me dig into this power steering code a little bit. All right, so for our steering shaft position sensor, the B227B, again, there ain't much to go off of here. It says install a new steering column, but we're going to hold off on that for the time being. And the reason why is because our data PIDs that we were looking at were in our suspected faulty module anyway. So let's tackle one thing at a time. Let's go ahead and we'll get authorization to put this module in, and we'll see what, if anything, is left over. If memory serves, I think that module's got to be programmed. So we have a couple different ways of doing that. So let's go ahead and get authorization, and then we'll get working on this thing. This job, you are going to need a couple special tools, or you're going to have to send your, when you get done, take it to a dealer or some shop that is going to be able to actually put the calibration in it. We were able to use that gear wrench scan tool. You can also use a thing called Forescan, which you can get like a trial for free, or you can get a year for, I don't know, $20 or something. The caveat being that you have to be able to talk to the module first, because that basically you're just cloning that module. So if you can talk to it, you can get the old calibration stuff off of it, then you can put it into your new, or in our case, used module. If you can't talk to it, if you don't have comms to it, you don't have a choice. You're going to have to use either IDS or FRJ, whatever the new Ford stuff is, and put the calibration in that way. We also had to use a scan tool as part of the bleeding. It just bleeds the like accumulator or pump itself. So aside from that, you just bleed it normally. You bleed it at the, I keep wanting to say stroke sensor, at the master cylinder first. That got us quite a bit of our pedal back, and then went back from right rear, right front, left front 45, 50 times. Finally got some brake pedal. So we're going to try this for the first time with this tool. This tool claims that it can do it. So generally what you have to do is, in our case, we can still communicate with this module. So we ought to be able to suck the information out of it and store it on something, meaning this tool, and then spit it back out into our new module. If this doesn't work, we have another program that we will use, but we'll try it with this. So we'll go in here to programming. Of course, I know what I'm doing. Installation of a programmable module. Okay. I'll just, actually, I'll do manual. ABS. Ignition switch is open. Yes. Have a new module loaded into the vehicle. So at this point, I think we got to go put a module in it. So I'm going to leave it right here, and we'll come back to this. All right, so there's our offending culprit there. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting some of the stuff out of the way, and we'll work our way down there. So I'll take the some of these hoses and stuff off of this air box. See how I did that? That's how you do it. We'll go ahead and get working on our myriad of hoses here. The two feed lines are 14s, and the output lines are 13s. If you live in the Rust Belt, I'll say a prayer for you. I know what you're thinking. Man, you should have sucked that master cylinder out first. Yep. So that pump and everything is on a bracket. The bracket appears to be held on by 13 millimeters. These are the obvious ones, and there's another one that's kind of down there below. There may be a fourth. We'll find out, but those are the only three that I see. All right, there's two tabs on this connector here and here. If you squeeze those and then pull up, your connector should come off. All right, so we didn't film this because, frankly, this is aggravating. But there is this bracket that is right there that has a dowel on it and a stud on it. That stud has this 10 millimeter nut on it. You can reach down from over in that direction, pointing that direction, with a 1/4 inch drive, shallow 10 mil socket, and get on it, and then kind of pull your lines up and finagle this whole assembly out. So that's what we did. So now we'll swap over our, this is a customer supplied used part. We'll put this on there and go back in with it. All right, so to save ourselves any potential headaches, because I'm not entirely sure if this is any good or if that thing will program or not, we are just going to hook our electrical connection up and see if it'll program and see if the car is going to jive like that.
See if this turkey jives.
All right, so we're back in the car. Yes. So yes. All right, so it says modules configured. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see if we got any DTCs. No DTCs found. All right, well, let me cycle the key one more time and all right, well, it looks like it worked. Let's just out of curiosity see if this pressure 65,529. Well, it's not bouncing around like it was before. All right, let's go ahead and we'll finish buttoning this thing up. We'll get everything bled out. We'll drive it, and we'll make sure everything's fixed. All right, so now that we know that our module works and it's programmed and it's going to hopefully pay dividends for us, we'll go ahead and slap her back in there. All right, so again, we didn't really film this because it was aggravating. But what we basically did was I kind of got the module and everything put back in place. You got to kind of be aware of where these lines go on either side of this bracket here. It's got a hook the bracket has a hook for the body. I hooked that into the body and then reached up underneath it and got that other bracket. That bracket has a dowel and a stud, and I could reach back there and feel it, and I pushed those that bracket through the stud and got that 10 started. Then I hung this up there and got the 13s started by hand, tightened down the 13s, and then went back and tightened the 10 up. So now all we got left is, obviously I hooked my module back up, and then it's got that one Christmas tree clip on the bottom of that bracket. I got those hooked up. So now all we have left is to finish putting our lines on, and we'll bleed it, and we'll be done. All right, so for right now, we're just going to kind of manually bleed this thing. Down, up, down,
Down.
up,
Up.
down,
Down.
up,
Up.
down,
Down.
up. At the actuator itself, so I'm just going to crack all 4 of the outputs loose. All right, down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap this one up. This job is not that hard per se, but it is, I don't know, maybe because it's cold or because it's really late. I found it quite aggravating. Messing around with that bracket inside is kind of a pain. Trying to get your lines oriented right, because some of them are on one side of the bracket, some are on the other side. That was kind of annoying. Getting it bled out was a whole nother. We went through a lot of brake fluid before we finally got a pedal. Normally, you can kind of cheat it and just do it at the actuator, but no such luck here. Plus, it didn't help the fact that the rear brakes were a couple miles out of adjustment, so that wasn't helping us with our final pedal feel. So a lot of little things that just kind of added up to be sort of irritating about it. So parts and labor breakdown. They do not sell this as a unit. You can get just the module, or you can get just the modulator, as Ford calls it. And so I found these on Rock Auto for like $250 or something. They are, you know, remans. But the way that this is designed, it's got lines that come over it. You can't really just replace this part in the car. You kind of have to do this whole procedure that we did, even if you just wanted to put the module on it. So this part was like $200. The modulator part, I found a new one for like $600, but at this age, cars starting to get to the point where it's parts for it are kind of obsolete, so you may end up having to use a used one like we did. Food for thought, I would probably recommend doing both of those together at the same time, and the reason being is because this customer has several. He's got a whole fleet of escapes, and we've had to do this on just about every one that he has. One of them, the hydraulic part, went bad. It would periodically just lose brake pedal, and the hydraulic portion was bad on it. So food for thought, you might want to do both of them at the same time. Labor, you get ripped on it. It only calls for like 1.9 hours. It took us several hours to do. So that's your parts and labor breakdown. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap the video up for today. Hopefully you earned a thumbs up from you. Let us know what you think down in the comment section. We have new content for you every single week, so consider subscribing to the channel. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
I'll pick you up at 8. You probably won't be awake. Call yourself an Uber, babe. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
Morning I wake up, have something put on my makeup. I say a little prayer for you.